Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you again to our series of Somera Mudioyo. We are still moving on and we are going to look at the logarithms. We have been doing this and we are very happy that still we have this opportunity even in this new day. We thank God for everything, keeping us alive. And also we thank the management of BBSKATI for always enabling us to study as we are still at home, we are in our sitting rooms, wherever we are. Some people even they text me and tell me that they are studying even there as they are working. So this is very good. And we are still moving on the logarithms. This is the mathematics, ordinary level. We are working on logarithms, and previously we have been looking at the laws of logarithms, how do we apply them, and we are going to continue with that. Then after still looking at the laws of logarithms, we need to see how to simplify numbers. When we look at simplifying numbers, what we see is to apply the laws of logarithms. How do we apply them? And probably after applying the laws of logarithms in simplifying, we'll be solving some equations involving the logarithms. You know, this is something that we have done for indices, and also we are doing it for logarithms. First, when you come to logarithms, they're going to be a little bit wide. You're not going to only stop on solving. And there's some other things that we are going to do. There are some other numbers that we'll be doing where we have to use the log tables, you have to use the calculator, and of course all this is going to be fine. So I thank you all for those who are following us. You know, every time we're getting feedback from you people, and that's really very, very good. So we are still simplifying, and we had some numbers that we have been doing. Of course, we are going to continue with those, and just to recall about the laws of logarithm, because these are laws that you have to understand. The laws that you have to apply. You know, if you are doing numbers of logarithms, what you need to know is only that understand the laws of logarithms. If the laws are okay, then the numbers themselves also will be fine. So just let us try to look at some more questions. And now we have been doing this. You know, we have been simplifying them, and we are doing more applying these laws. So some people tried the numbers, and also that was very, very fine. Those who tried and completed all the questions. So we are still simplifying simplifying the logarithms. And we are saying when you are doing this, only apply the laws. If you are okay in the laws of logarithms, the numbers concerning simplifying will be very, very fine. Let us first see a number here before we go to those questions that we have been doing. And you know that if you really work out these questions, it's going to be very easy for us. You know, they're working out that so that we get those questions, but it's going to be very easy for us. And if you are simplifying, make sure you don't forget the laws of logarithms, because everything is going to rotate on the laws of logarithms. Can you be able to apply the laws? You know, when we add, what do we do? When we are subtracting, what do we do? When you're having a power, what are you going to do with the power? So we have the questions there, and they're going to cast them on the screen. Then we try to go through them. Of course, we are saying our first thing is to simplify. So we have the numbers here, and we are still simplifying. Last time we did part A, which was very good. We did part B, we did part C, D, and even some members try. Actually, there are members who are trying all the numbers and are just sending answers. Please just keep it up. That's a very good thing. You know, when you try them out on your own, when I come here and we just discuss together, and you have already tried, it helps you in one way or the other. You really see where the mistake was, and you know, you try to analyze that. So let us look at. We are still moving on. We are looking at this part K, and we are going to try to do to see that we compute all these numbers today. Next time when we meet, we just go to solving equations involving the logarithms. We solve those equations. So let us start with here. We have this part L. Of course, last time I told you to try out the part K because it resembles the other part that we just covered. So look at this part L. We are having log of 9. The base is 3. Then we are adding, they're saying plus log of 21. Log 21 still. The base is 3 here, then minus log of 7. Log of 7, still the base is. If you say to look at the numbers that we normally set here in O level, we will give you the same base. So you don't expect to find numbers where you are supposed to change bases. That concept is normally covered in the advanced level. So let us see what we are having here. We're having this as log 9. If you look at this question here, log 9 base 3, then plus log 21, still the base is 3 here, then minus log 7, still the base is 3, and they're telling you to simplify. In other words, they're telling you, they can ask you to express this in terms of a single logarithm, and still they can ask you to just simplify. And in case you simplify, make sure that you simplify completely. Last time I was talking about this and I said that there's some members who stop on the way. You know, when you stop on the way, that means you're going to miss some of the marks. Now let us continue with this. We're having log 9 base 3 plus log 21 base 3, then minus log 7. So I was talking here about this, that it depends on what you want to do. Look at this is addition. I said when you're adding logarithms in the same base, what we do is to multiply the logarithm. Multiply the logarithm, then you maintain the base. So for this number, I'll just get log. I maintain the base as 3 there. I have my 9 times 21. See that? So I'm having times 21. But still, I told you if you want, you can combine everything, you know, because this is subtraction. It means that by virtue that you are subtracting and you are still having the same base, you have to divide. So even if you do it at once, you divide, it is still okay. And if you want to go step by step, you first maybe add, then after you subtract later, still you get the answer. So we are going to have that. So I'm having this as log 9 times 21. We are multiplying here because we are adding logarithms in the same base. Then minus log 7, the base of 3. So what we do next here is that we divide. Since I'm subtracting logarithm in the same base, we are going to divide. So here we are just applying the laws of logarithms. So we are going to divide now, and I'll be having log of now this is 9 times 21 divide by 7, divide by 7, then still maintain your base as 3. Make sure always you move with the base. In case you miss out the base, it means now you are dealing with base 10. So don't forget the base. Some people forget the base and they bring it at the end. But the moment you remove this base and just leave it log 9, that means you are talking about base 10, which is not the case here. So we are just going to divide. You know, we multiply this 9 times 21. Also, you can divide. 21 divided by 7, you're going to get a 3 here. That means you'll be having 9 times 3, which will be still 27. It will be 27. So we're going to get log 9, log 27 actually, log 27 base 3. You know, I'm just dividing by 7, 1. By 7 here, 3. 3 times 9, I get 27. So it means what we get here is going to be 27, but still maintain our base as base 3. Let us do it this side. So we are coming up with log 27, and then the base is 3. That's what we have, log 27 base 3. But again, what I've been telling you is that this one here, log 27 base 3, you try and see, because we're expressing this in terms of a single logarithm, but you try and see on 27, can you express it in terms of base 3? Because these are indices, can you do that? In case you can do it, then you move on. Otherwise, when you stop here, and you can express 27 in terms of base 3, then this will not be simplified completely. So what we are going to do, we come on 27 here, and if you look at 27, when you prime factorize 27 using 3, you'll be getting 9. So again, I do it by 3, I'll be getting a 3 here. By 3, I'll be getting a 1. So what does it mean? It means that 27 is the same thing as 3 to the power 3. 3 to the power 3 will be 27. So that's what you're going to put here. While it's 27, I'll remove it and I just write log of 3 to the power 3. And so my base will be 3. My base is 3. So what you do next, we say that if you have a power, you bring the power in front. So I bring the 3 in front here, and it will become 3 log 3 base 3. Of course, these are laws of logarithm. I've applied when you are subtracting, I've applied when you are adding, and again here I've applied the law of the power comes in front. And lastly, we see that you have log 3 base 3. We say that if you have the log and the base when they are equal or when they are the same, we get a 1. So it means that this will give you 3 times 1. So just get here 3 times 1. Then, so all of this one is 1. So I get my final answer as 3. So if this is going to be my final answer on that number, my final answer is going to be 3. So you need to be okay with the laws of logarithms. You see now here I was adding, I multiplied. I was subtracting here, that's why I divided. And after dividing, I had to observe this 27 can be expressed as a base compared to the logarithm that you're having. And when I did that, I got 3 to the power 3, then I applied the power coming in front. Log 3 base 3, I get a 1. So that's why I have my answer finally as 3. So that's how we work out that part L. And of course, I'm telling you that today we want us to complete those numbers, complete simplifying, so that in the next week we go to solving equations involving the logarithms. Of course, when you do simplifying first, solving will be a bit easier. Why? Because you are going to apply the same knowledge of simplifying in solving the equations. So let us go to another part. I think this is fine. This is our part L. So we are going to look at part M. We have part M there. We are going to look at part M. We are still simplifying these logarithms. And I know that if you handle simplifying very well, then solving also will be easy. Solving will be easy. Otherwise, these numbers, they are still helping us to apply, to get used, to get familiar with the laws of logarithms. So you look at part M, we are still having log of, it's log of 14. Make sure please you copy the question rightly. It's log 14 base 7. We're on part M, log 14 base 7 minus 3 log 2 base 7. It's minus 3 log 2 base 7 plus log 28 base 7. So that's our part M. They're telling us to simplify. It's log 14 base 7. See it here. Then minus 3 log 2 base 7. Then plus log 28 base 7. So of course the bases are the same. That means the bases are the same. You can still guide and apply the laws of logarithms. We are adding, observe carefully, we are adding here, we are subtracting. And you should know that this negative is only on the negative 3 log 2 base 7. The negative is not affecting this. Negative is only on the negative 3 log 2 base 7. It means that this is a plus, also this one is a positive in front. There's a positive sign here. So what we are going to do, and if you look at this number, one thing that you have to be careful with is that, look at this. If you're having a number in front, I told you that the law of logarithm will not work here. I cannot just multiply. I cannot just multiply because I'm adding. I cannot just divide because I'm subtracting. This number, the 3 must go back first. It has to first go back here and becomes a power. So this is a very common mistake that some students do, and they forget to take this 3 back here. Otherwise, if you just do it when this 3 is not taken back to be a power of 2, then it will not come out. So we must have no number in front here. There is no number in front here. Also, you have to see that there shouldn't be any number in front of the log. So first take this 3 back, and we say that from the laws of logarithms, this number in front, when you take it back, it becomes a power. So it means that the first thing I'm going to do for this number is to first take this 3 back here, and it becomes a power of 2. So we are going to have it as log 14 base 7. We have log 14 base 7. Then of course I'm taking this one to be a power. So I'll be getting minus log 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 3 by 7. Of course, you have seen what I've done there. I've taken this 3 which was in front to be a power of 2. Then plus log 28 plus log 28 by 7. That's the first step. After that, you know that if you have 2 to the power 3, you can place even a calculator. Of course, this number they are saying without using tables or calculators. What they want is that you are applying the laws of logarithms. But other things, you can use your calculator. So what you have to do here, you place on the calculator, you place 2 to the power 3, and that will be 8. Or 2 to the power 3 means 2 times 2 times 2, and that will be 8. So I bring back my 8 here. So we are going to have log of 14 by 7, then minus log 8, so log 8 by 7, plus log 28, plus log 28 by 7. You're going to have that. And when you're coming, you find these numbers, please, you're simplifying the same bases. First, make sure that you remove the number in front. If I remove this number in front here, everything is going to be okay. So now at this level, I have nothing in front here, I have nothing in front, I have nothing in front. So now I can get and apply the laws of logarithms. What happens when you are subtracting? What do you do when you are adding? I'm going to apply that now. And in this case, you see, you have to be very careful with the negative sign. The negative sign is on log 8 by 7. So it means that this 8 here has to divide. But the 14, I have to multiply 14 times 28, and I divide by 8. That's what I'm supposed to do. Or if not that, you can first still divide 14 out of 8, then times 28. So that will be fine. But you have to be very careful that the log having the negative sign in front has to divide, because I'll be subtracting. But this one's having the positive signs, just going to multiply, because you will be adding. So you can do it at once. Still, even if you want, you can do one by one. You know, you don't use anything. If I just divide after I multiply, it is okay. If I see this is 14, it's a positive in front on log 28. I multiply 28 times 14. I see there's a negative here. I divide. It is still fine. But you have to be very careful with the signs in front, the logarithm. So let us continue. We are going to have, just do this side. We are going to have log of 14. So we have said that we are going to multiply because there is addition sign. It's plus log 28. Actually, if you want, you can even organize it that you bring this one here, then the other minus comes last. It is still okay. But what you have to do is to analyze the signs. Look at the signs carefully. 14, this one is positive. You are going to multiply, then we divide by 8. So to be log 14 times 28, and we divide here by 8. And of course, we maintain our base. We maintain our base as 7. So I want you to carefully see what I've done there. I've multiplied 14 times 28 simply because for them, they had the positives. They were positive. Look at in front, we had the positive sign. Then again, I'm dividing by 8 because it had a negative. So when you multiply and divide, you'll be getting a 49. I'm getting 49. So this one, you use your calculator. You multiply here. Also, you can divide by 2. This will be 7 by 2. You get 14 by 2. Still, you get 7. That means I'll get 7 times 7, which will be 49. So it means you get log of 49 base 7. And now what are you going to do? You look at this. Is 49 can be expressed as a base 7? If it can, then you move on. Otherwise, when you stop here, it means you have just stopped on the way. The number is incomplete, and the marks you will get won't be the same as somebody is going to complete the whole number. So what you have to do, you come back here. You know 49 is 7 times 7. So it means that this 49, the same thing as having 7 squared or 7 power 2. So I come back here where it is 49. I'll write log of 7 squared base 7. I'll get something like that. Then remember, this 2 has to come in front. The 2 is a power. It can be brought in front here so that you remain with 2 log 7 base 7. And this is what we have been saying, that if the base and logarithm are the same, I will get a 1. So all of these will give me a 1. And that means I will just get 2 times 1. I will remain with 2 times 1. I get my answer as 2. So my answer will just be a 2. So 2 will be the final answer. And of course, I've been having members asking, how would you do this? Now I just told you, just wait. Every time we are here on Wednesday, focus on what we are doing, and the answer will be 2. By the way, I thank you that most of the members were trying these numbers, and you know, some got the answers, some were making mistakes, but at least now you can see how we do the numbers. You can see how we get the answers. And I know as you are down there, you are seeing where probably where was the mistake. So you really have to look at the sign. Like I was seeing some members, they made mistakes here because of the signs. That's why I've been explaining this so much, because I know some people are going to make mistakes on the sign. And of course, some members, you are forgetting to take this power, this number in front, take it back to be a power. Some members are just multiplying without taking this one back. Please always, you have to first take this number back here to be a power. So for doing that, everything will be okay. So that's how we get the answer as 2. And that was our part A. We still have more parts there, and we are going to part N. You know, I told you those numbers there, they are unique, you know, and I told you if you are doing them, please don't jump. You move. Just move in the order. You know the way they are given, just follow that order. As I was comparing them, I still made it that if you do one part, if you do part A, it's going to help you in part C, like that. So when you just skip from part A, you go to part O, there will be some problems. So you have to make sure that you do part A first, you go to part B, like that. Just do them the way they are in their order. So we're on part N. We're on part N now, and still we are simplifying. You see, part N also is different in its own way. We're having a quarter in front here, or a quarter is the same thing as 1 out of 4. Then it's log 81. Here there's no base, that means our base will be 10. Don't forget that. So plus a half in front here, log, it's log of 25. Log of 25. Then minus log of square root of 49, minus log of square root of 49, minus log of square root of 49. So we'll be seeing that even if you are doing these logarithms, we apply some indices. That's why I was telling you that if you are to cover logarithms, it's better for you to first know, you first understand the indices. Because at one point, you apply the indices when you are doing the logarithms. So this is what we have. We're having the question as a quarter, or 1 out of 4, log 81, plus a half, log 25, then minus, this is log square root of 49. And what do we do in this case? One thing that you have to know, if there's no base, it means our base is 10. So we have no base here, it means the base is 10. We have no base here, it means the base is 10. We have no base here, it means the base is 10. So they can put for you 10. If there's nothing still, just know that the base is 10. That's one thing that you need to know. And again, we said if you are to work out this number, you have to first remove these ones. A quarter, take it back to be a power. Remove this a half, take it back to be a power. Of course, this one is a 1, that's fine. But again, recall what we did in the indices, because if you take this a half back here, we said a half, any number to power half means that's the square root. Like when I have root of 49, same thing as 49 to power half. We cover that in indices, and we are going to apply the concept here. Or if that's not fine with you, see what you have to do. If you take the half here, try to prime factorize the 25, prime factorize the 81, but still you have to apply the laws of indices. So you find that the powers will still cross out. Even if you're not okay with the square root, cube root, fourth root, and so on, what we did in indices, but when you prime factorize 25, prime factorize 81, you bring back these to be powers. There's a way they are going to multiply. You end up getting a square root. You end up getting a fourth root. And that's what we are going to do exactly when it comes to these questions. So just follow what I'm doing here. So we are going to be having this a quarter. And I'm saying what I'm going to do is to take our quarter back here to be a power. So I'll be having log of 81. This will be power a quarter. Power a quarter like that. Then we are adding, we take a half still to be a power of 25. So I'll be having 25. This is power half. Power half. Then minus. Of course, square root of 49 we know is 7. So you can put here minus log 7. Square root of 49 is 7. And please don't put negative or positive, just leave it as 7. Take the positive one. Now, see, you come back to this. We say that if you have 25 power half, means square root of 25 from indices. If you have 81 power quarter, it means you want the fourth root of 81. But still, you can just come here and you prime factorize 81. When you prime factorize 81, the answer will just come out on its own. Because you know 81 is like 9 times 9. You know that. So let us see here. If I have this 81, I divide by 4. By 3 here, I'll be getting my 27. And I divide by 3 here, I'll be getting my 9. I divide by 3, I'll be getting a 3. Then by 3, I'll be getting a 1. So it means that 81 is the same thing as 3 to the power 4. So instead of having 81 here, I'm just going to write 3 to the power 4. See that? This will be 81 now. 81 is the same thing as 3 to the power 4. Then power quarter. Remember, this 1 out of 4 or a quarter was there as the power. Then plus 25 power half, the same thing as square root of 25. But again, you can prime factorize 25 and you get 5 squared. So it means instead of having 25, I'm going to have log of 5 squared, then power half, then minus log 7. So that is fine. That is fine. So we are still going to apply the laws of indices. We said in the laws of indices, if you have more than one power, you have power 4, you have power quarter on the same base, which is 3, means a quarter multiplies the 4. And when a quarter multiplies the 4, you just get 3 to power 1. You just get something as 3. And also when you come to this, from laws of indices, the 2 multiplies their half. So the 2 and this 2 will cancel out. I'll just remain with log 5. So it means what we get here, if you multiply the powers, will be log of 3 like that. Have you got the 3? You are just multiplied 4 times a quarter, the powers, and we get a 1. Then plus, this is log of 5. Because the 2 and a half will cancel, just going to remain with log of 5. Then minus log of 7. Don't forget that our base is 10. When there's no base, the base will still be 10. 10. So that's what we are getting on that question. We have just tried to apply the laws of indices, bring these numbers back here, they become powers. Prime factorize 81, prime factorize 25, 4 times a quarter you get 1, so we get the 3 only here. 2 times a half we get the 5, the 1, so we get the 5. Square root of 49, we got 7. That's how we come to that. So of course now we are going to simplify further. We are having that 3 times 5, which is 15, and we divide by 7. So we are moving on. We are moving on. So next thing we are going to multiply. Why multiplying here? Because we are adding logarithms. So we are going to multiply, and of course here we are dividing. So we have to we are subtracting rather. So we have to divide. So finally we are going to get this. We are going to get log of 3 times 5, and we divide by 7. Dividing by 7 because we have subtraction. That's why we are dividing by 7. We have subtraction sign. Here we are adding, that's why we are multiplying. So come up with log 3 times 5 divided by 7. This will give us log of 15 divided by 7. So of course this one you can't simplify it further. Our base is 10, we know that, but there's no way we are going to simplify this. 15 divided by 7, so you can't simplify it further. Like the other numbers where we could express the base to resemble what we have here, resemble our base in the logarithms, but in this case you can't do that. So we are going to leave it as log 15 over 7, the base is 10. Also you can just go to your calculator, you paste this, you see you get the answer. So we can leave it as that. When you're saying here, we cannot go on. We can't simplify this further. We cannot. So that is going to be the answer for this question. But again, as I was saying that each question here is having some technique. This number was helping us to understand how to deal with the square root signs, to deal with the numbers in front when they're calling us to get for the roots, like square root, fourth root. That was the main aim of this question. So I strongly believe that if you do all these questions we are doing here, you go through all the questions, you analyze them. If you're okay with all the questions, then you won't have any problem in simplifying the logarithms. You will not have any problem. So let us go to another part. This was our part N, and this is how we have simplified it. And I've told you the main point of this question was see that do you know how to handle the square roots? Do you know how to handle the fourth roots? What do you do when you come across a number like this? And of course this is handled. Because some people they work out the number first, it's the whole number in front, take it to be power. That's very easy. And we have been seeing that in the previous parts. But for now, we're having fractions in front. And of course it can still be done. In this question I'm having only a quarter, but it can still be a bigger number than this. But still we can handle. So let us go to part O. Let's go to, this was N. We have part O, there's P, there's 2, yeah. So we are on part O, and please I want you to copy those questions very well. You know, I've told you these questions are just enough for you to simplify logarithms. At this level, you can simplify any other number if you can do all these questions that we have today. So we are on part O now. Part O, see we are simplifying. If you look at our part O is 3 log 5. Also this is somehow different from the other numbers we have been doing. So this is 3 log 5 plus log 20 plus log 20 minus log 0.25 minus log of 0.25, then minus 6. This 6 is also a number on its own. The 6 is also a number on its own. So this is another question that we have. It is 3 log 5 plus log 20 minus log 0.25 minus 6. 6 just a whole number. 6 is a number on its own. Now let us see, as I've been telling that now this question is also unique, is different from other questions that we have been doing. And of course, if you also under this, that means there are lots of questions that we'll be able to do. Let us see what we do here. So of course we have this number in front. This is the thing in front here. We have to first take it back to be a power of 5. Log 20 is fine. Minus log 0.25 is also fine. Look at the other minus 6. Now this minus 6, there's no logarithm. And of course, if you don't have any logarithm here, it's going to be a little bit hard for us to work out this number. It's going to be hard for us to simplify when there's no logarithm here. So what we do on this 6, we have to bring back the logarithms in the same base like all these other logarithms. And of course, we have no logarithms here. It means that the base is 10. So you have to bring back the logarithms on this 6 in the same base, which is 10. And see how we are going to do it. So I first have to bring this to be a power, that we get log of 5 power 3. You're going to have that log 5 power 3. Then plus log 20. You see, I'm trying to do the same thing that we've been doing in the previous numbers. You bring back the figure to be a power. That one is okay. But now this number is having some new concept. So you're going to have minus log 0.5. That is still fine. Now, the 6. If you look at that 6, it's not having, it's just a number, there's no logarithm. I said that if you are to do it very, very well, you have to bring back the logarithms in that 6 to the same base to which these logarithms are given. And look at this. If you have this 6, it's like having 6 times 1. Yeah, let me start by that, by saying this is 6 times 1. Of course, you know, what I want to do is to bring back the logarithms. I can simplify this number before bring back logarithms in the here where I have 6 only. Watch out to do this. So we have 5 cubed. We can even get the answer for that. Don't keep on saying 5 cubed. Just get the answer for that, then you move on. You know 5 cubed is 125. So I'll just get this as log of 125 plus log 20. I have log 20 there. Then minus log of 0.25. Now here on 6, we want to bring back logarithms. We say that there's no base here, but our base is 10. We know that. So there is a base 10. There is a base 10. We don't write it, but just know it that when there's no base, there is base 10. The base is 10. So when you come to this, we are saying 6 times 1. But remember, this 1 can still be the same thing as log 10 base 10. The 1 can be log 10 base 10. So if I write 6, another person writes 6 log 10 base 10, it is the same thing. And this number, that's how it differs from the previous numbers. That we didn't have any number where we had only a whole number without logarithms. Now we are seeing it in this number. So that's the only technique when you come to this. Just bring back logarithms in the same base, which is 10, so that you get this 6 to go here to become a power of 10, and the question will be fine. The moment you bring back logarithms in that number, then everything will be okay. So you're going to, I can still multiply here. I can have it as log of 125 times 20, because I'm adding. Also, if you want, you can divide by 0.25. There's no problem. Let us just do step by step. So I divide by 0.25. So the base is still 10. Why am I multiplying? Because this is addition. Why am I dividing here? Because I was subtracting. So I end up getting this. Then minus. You know what 6, which was a whole number, it had no logarithms, and we are bringing back logarithms. But you see, we have to take the 6 back here to be a power. So it's going to be 10 to the power 6. So you get here log 10 power 6, and the base is 10. So at that level, the number will be fine. So I want you to know how to bring back the logarithms, because you're going to find very many numbers where you have to bring back the logarithm. On your own, it will not be given, and you have to bring it back. So this is 125. Then now you multiply it by 20. You simplify this one before even you go on. Then you divide by 0.25. This will give us 10,000. Out of this, 125 times 20 divided by 0.25, it will give us 10,000. 10,000. So I'll end up getting this. Let me just do it this side. Oof. So I'll have it as log of 10,000, like that. And of course, 10 to the power 6, it means that you are going to have this 10 to the power 6. You're going to have log, hey, 1, 2, actually it's going to be 1 million here. So you're going to have log, and just write it down to be down so it is very, very clear. So we're saying this is log of 10,000, log of 10,000, like that. Then minus 10 to the power 6, be getting log. You have to make sure that you put 6 zeros. So to be like that. Log of 10,000 minus log of 1 million. Remember, the base is 10. So what you have to do here, you can divide this divide by this. It is fine. Or still, even if you leave it as 10 to the power 6, leave this one as 10 to the power 4, it will still be okay. So here there are very many ways of doing this number. One person you can just divide, that will be fine. Other person, actually, you can also do it like this. I think this will be even easier. 10,000, it will be the same thing as 10 power 4, because there are 4 zeros. So I'll just get, I can make it log of 10 to power 4. Ooh, minus log of 10 to power 6. I can use this knowledge. Remember, the base remains 10, 10. The 4 comes in front, so that you get 4 log 10 base 10 minus 6. This is still log 10 base 10. So you can see that when you get log 10 base 10, this will be a 1, this will be a 1. So you just subtract. You're just going to get 4 minus, this will be 4 times 1, which is 4. Then minus 6 times 1, which will be, still be 6. So you can just get our answer as negative 2. But again, remember, if somebody works it out by getting 1 million here, getting 10 to the power 4, you still divide, you end up having the same answer. The two members will get the same answer. So if you leave it as this, you know this is 6 times 1, you get 6. 4 times 1, you get 4. You subtract, you get your negative 2. It is fine. Then again, if also you divide 10 to the power 4, divide by 10 to the power 6, you get 10 to the power negative 2. You take the negative 2 in front, you get log 10, negative 2 log 10 base 10. See, the answer will be fine. The answer will be fine. Just write it here. So in case you divide, you'll be getting this. You'll be getting log 10 to the power negative 2 base 10. And of course, when you bring negative 2 in front, you end up having negative 2 log 10 base 10, which will be negative 2. Still, it will be your answer. So you see, you get negative 2 log 10 base 10. where you get your final answer as negative. So in both cases, you get your answer as -2. You know, in mathematics, we have very many methods. Most numbers have very many methods. But again, the answer will be the one. The answer will be the same. The answer you get finally will be the same. So if you are dividing, it's fine. If you are taking back to have the 4 times 1, 6 times 1, you get -2, still it will be fine. So this is our part O. You're supposed to do it like that. But the main thing I want you to understand that even we can introduce back logarithms. If you had a number, just a number, you can introduce logarithms to any desired base. You can introduce logarithm to any desired base. As I was doing there, I introduced logarithms to base 10. So that is our part all. That's our part all. And of course, we have part P, part 2. I think I can do part 2, the last one, because I know some people, they fear those unknowns. We have A there. That's why even I did part I, because some people, when they see letters, again, they fear the number. When they see the numerals, they are happy. But still, you apply the same concept. Let us finalize with the part I, the part 2. Let us finalize with part 2. Just talk about it, and that will be good. So it means that next time we just go to solving. So part 2, we are having half log. This is 16. Let me guide you now. We are going to do this because time is not on our side. So -2 log A over 5. Then plus log A squared. It is just log of A squared. So remember, this is what we have. And how are you going to do this? Bring the half first here. Bring the half to be 16 power half. Take back this 2 to get log of A over 5 squared. Minus, this is plus log A. Yeah, at least there. So remember that this A over 5 is going to be affected by the power, which is 2. So you'll be getting, this means square root of 16, which will be log 4 minus log. Now this will be A squared. Remember, this has to affect both. Out of 5 squared, which will be 25 plus log A squared. So there's no base, means our base is 10. And what are you going to do next? I need to compare this now. We are going to multiply. This one has a positive sign, so you multiply these two. 4 multiplies the A, you get 4A squared. And we divide it by this. We divide by A squared over 25. So I want you to compare this number. And of course, our answer, and we're seeing it here, me, I've seen it. The answer will be 2. So please just compete. And what you're going to do, this is 4, it's positive here. This is A squared. It is also having a positive. Multiply A squared times 4, you get 4A squared. Divide by A squared over 25. You get the reciprocal, it will be 100, and your final answer will be a 2. So remember, this is just a number for you to complete. You are going to complete this because time is on our side. But when we meet in the next lesson, we are going to go now to solving equations involving the logarithms. Of course, some people, you have my number, so most of you have it, but still this one just left it for you. You can just give feedback. Some people, they're asking questions, some are saying one day now, but I believe most of you have this. This is now just for students. So in case of any question, in case of anything, please, just WhatsApp. I think WhatsApp can work better. Even we have some groups where we are handling you, we are helping you. So we can use that. But in the next lesson, we are going to look at solving equations involving logarithms. I just want to thank you very much for studying with me today. I just meet you next week. Just keep on BBS. Keep on BBS Tefina. Awangale masomoje.